Hello everybody, I thought I'd like to make a catch-up video. I've got a bit of a post bag to go on and talk about a few bits and pieces, because it's all going on. Shana's now back home. The Reliance sprung a leak on that bloody rubber elbow on the petrol tank. I'm just negotiating with somebody online to say I need a petrol elbow, So, it stinks of fuel out there at the moment. What we've done is we've duct taped a bucket right under the thing, so I'll have to go and empty it out tomorrow morning, So, and we'll get to it, Yeah, here comes the fun. I'm not going to do the down view or anything like that. We're going to do this all on the up view, so Gary can admire my mighty Soviet naval ensign. So here comes the first one. Poljot diver's watch. How about that? It's a very strange watch. It's trying to be a submariner, but in the wrong way. It's got applied markers like a submariner would have, yeah. The date's in the wrong place, and it's got tennis balls on the hour hands, but not the second hand. Whereas the Submariner has Mercedes hands, and has a tennis ball second hand. It has quite a nice diver type bezel, and if you look on the back, it's got a nicely engraved back as well. It's a very nice watch. So I put it on that white Vostok bracelet, because what turned up with it, thanks to Mr. Bestrus, Bestrus, if you want somebody who can get you really good Soviet pieces, he included this, which is a grained leather Vostok black bracelet strap. So that will go onto something, which is brilliant. So it's attack of the remember I showed you the other night the Milanese mesh watch bracelets. Well, look at that. That's actually quite pleasant. It's very comfy. As you can see, the stadium is doing brilliantly. It seems to go a little bit fast, a little bit slow sometimes, but it's not automatic. It's doing its business, and I like this particular Milanese one, because it's got like a keeper, so it doesn't come undone like the other ones do. And this one here, now if you can see it at the bottom there, I don't know if it's clarified enough. This is a Zacas MOCCCP issue. This means that this was very, very early. This is one of the first Komandurskis that were produced by Vostok, the proper Komandurskis like this with a paint with a logo dial. And this was this was exclusive to the Russian military. This was a service watch, somebody in the armed forces in Soviet times, probably late 70s, early 80s maybe. It's got a slip in mainspring, easy enough to do. I've got loads of mainsprings. All I've got to do is take the bridge off, pick it up, bosh it in, close it all back up again. Job's a good one. And the only other job I've got to do is the stem tube there, that needs to be replaced with one, but again I've got loads of cases with loads of good stem tubes on it. So yeah, I was looking through some of my other stuff, and I found this. This is a spended, it's 1960s spended date gents watch. It's quite big, and it's like immaculate. The only thing is it's missing a stem. So And what we have next is like bit cheesed off about this, because this is a bit strange, because I'm not sure what's going on. If you can see that, this is a Gagarin, a Poljot Sturmanskie Gagarin. But what's happened is I suspect that somebody's broken this originally. It's got the original movement inside from Gagarin, but some of the exterior is new old stock, fake or aftermarket or something like that. So it's a bit of a, you know, the hands off from the original thing. You know, but the dial is probably not. The crystal is probably not. The case probably is, because there's like an etching. It's very hard to see the etching on the side, but it's like, it's just like a scratch. You know, it's just about there. Is it like an etching? Like somebody's like basically etched X14, whatever that would mean. You know, so I have no idea. And we can actually have a look at the inside of this one. This is how we know that this is the real deal. Da, da, da. I've got to be careful because it hasn't got a stem in and it might fall out. Look at that. How exquisite is that? Everything's engraved. You know, it's got serial numbers and everything. That's how you know that's the real deal. So the movement's probably worth about 1 million times more than the bloody rest of the watch. You know, but these things go for absurd amounts of money. And if it's a good one, you know, there's no reason. This will be the king of my thing until I get hold of like a Poljot Sturmanskie 3133 or a Seconda chronograph or something like that. Right, I'm talking about wind-up Seconda. Oh, let's see, the way you're saying that, I forgot. Da, da, da. Look at that. Date Seconda. It's very stiff. It's like, you know, it's a bit, I think, is a bit overwhelmed. You know, it's on its original what's it, hide, what do you call it, strap. I keep calling them bracelets. It's one of those ones, if you can see there, right, the actual movement and everything all comes out, and the glass and the case are kind of like a shell that goes over the whole thing, you know, and that's the same with this one here. Like, you know, when you pull it out, the whole lot comes out, like, and you have to separate the case back off of the dial. So, you know, I've got high hopes for this. It's like, I mean, look at this. That's like never been worn. You know, I mean, I only like unhooked it because it's just easy to work on, like, you know. So, you know, it's all been going on, like, as I say, Sean's back home, like, you know, Reliance like sprung a leak, like, you know, like where you stick your petrol pump in, like, you know, and like, yeah, petrol Gary, that's that stuff you put into motor vehicles, like, you know, and it makes them go forward, like, you know, without having to push them. It's like, basically it's like a rubber elbow that goes right to the tank. And what's happened is because the one I got off of one of these companies that do Reliance bits and everything, like, you know, what I got was a cheap Chinese pattern part, and that's a load of crap, like, you know. And of course it's just perished. So it started, you know, and I kept getting under the car. Oh, I could smell petrol. What's going on? And of course, when you're dealing with a Reliant, right, if you smell petrol, it's like stop and deal with it, because, you know, if you don't, it's gone. Like, you know, a puddle of molten plastic and steel, like, you know, and like there goes everything, like, you know. So you stop, and of course I'm getting down underneath, getting onto the fuel pump, and they're like, you know, I have a look at it. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. The pipe's good. Like checking the connections at the carburetor. No, there's nothing wrong. It's not coming out of there. I was scratching my head, like, you know. So of course I filled the car up the day. I thought, well, it needs a bit of jungle juice. I was right down. I actually ran out of petrol as I kind of rolled into the petrol station, like, you know. I had to push it just that little bit further onto the pump, and so I thought, you know, fill it up. I mean, because petrol's cheap at the moment. So of course, like, all the way up, like, click, 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 like, you know, like. And I goes and pays it, not a problem, like, you know, 20 quid, sorted. Right, as I'm walking back, I can see just underneath the back of the car, it's like, blip, blip, blip. Bloody fuel leaking, like, you know. So that's where the smell of petrol. And of course, when it's half full, or below half full, it doesn't leak out. But when it's more than half full, it leaks out. So of course, like, I've been driving it on the half full for ages, and of course, like, I fills it up like a good one, and it's like. So I've got a bucket underneath it. I've Shana actually done the duct tape. She duct taped it to the bottom of the elbow, like, so it's going to catch. Because the last time that it happened, like, it actually dissolved all the tarmac. So it's all been happening, you know. Cats are at Shana's back. I'm at Shana's back, you know. I mean, I'm laying off. I'm not buying any more watches right now at the moment. Like, you know, I think I've got plenty to be working on with. Like, you know, I mean, I just can't stop wearing this because I mean, it's like it's. Now I've got my eyes out on a gold one, which I've got seen on an auction, and. You know, I'm really hoping I can get that, because I mean, you know, the gold ones are really, really nice. But, you know, I picked this up on a whim. I mean, it was like £8, like, you know, for a Poljot, like, you know, like, I mean, it keeps bloody good time, like, you know, it's unusual. I think it looks very nice with the white dial and the white strap. You know, I mean, I've really got some really good gear. I'm wearing my cross-hat t-shirt today as well. You know, so a bit of the old muscles, like, you know. I was in Pets at Home today, like, you know. Right, and like, it seems to be that it's something to do with this bloody town, like, you know. Right, they got a new member of staff in Pets at Home. Right, and she's rabid about you. Don't go more than 1 inch closer than that person across the other side of the shop, sort of thing. Right, so like, there was 2 people looking for something in the aisle, and I said I'll just stand here, like, you know, and just let them get on with it, sort of thing. And she goes, "Oh no, you've got to walk all the way round and all the way round." And I said, "No, I've got a bad heart. I can't walk very far all the time at your whim, or like, you know, back." Alright, and I said, "I'll just stand here and wait for them to move where they need to go. I'm not in any hurry, not a problem." Well, she didn't like it, and her face, like, you know, it was like a smacked arse, like, you know. So before I could say anything, there was like a father and a daughter. I mean, the daughter was quite a nice looking girl, like, you know, and he's trying to say, "Yeah, you know, like, have a bit of patience, like, you know. Well, he's all right, I'm all right, you know." And I'm on the till, and I said to her, I said, "Listen, love," I said, "like, let me explain something to you, right?" I said, "If I get COVID-19, I die." I said, "Because people with bad hearts and bad chest stuff and all the rest of it, we don't survive it." And I said, "If I'm alive, I ain't got it." You know, and she quite affronted at that, like, you know, and she said, "Stand on the eggs." I said, "What eggs?" Well, you know, what somebody had done is they put some duct tape on the floor or something, or, you know, in front of the tills, and it was like, what's this? Somebody's like obviously got it stuck to their foot and pulled it off and it's gone. Like, you know, I said, "There's no ish." "Yes, there is." "No, there isn't." "No, you know." So she leans over, breaking social distancing, without a face mask on, you know, and she goes, "Oh, what have you done with it?" And I'm like, "Okay, don't go there, darling." I said, don't go there. You know, because I'm not going back in Asda's. I'm just not going back in Asda's. Like, they can kiss my nuts bloody for I can stop going in that bloody Asda's. Bloody manky place. I mean, 3 times I've been abused in that place, you know, by people trying to be petty little dictators. You know, I mean, what would they do? Like, they'd probably get a bit, like, you know, a bit funny if I reached across and, like, you know, I mean, I suffer from PTSD. That means that, you know, you stress me out too much and I go cuckoo. And I'm unpredictable. Even I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I could either just, like, start destroying myself, or I could start destroying somebody else. And, you know, the neighbour that pissed me off, like the council lady, turned around and told him, said, just leave that bloke alone, because he'll come out here and he'll do you. And he has left me alone. So, you know. So I hope this finds you all well. Like, you know, I mean, lovely weather. It's just a shame you can't do nothing with it. You know, like, we had sandwiches for tea tonight. I mean, I thought it'd be a special, like, you know, treat for Shana, because, yeah, she loves sandwiches, like, you know. I mean, when I was bringing her, see, I brought Shana up on my own when she was a baby, so, you know. And, you know, things like sandwiches, Twizzlers, or, you know, all that, like, you know, she loved all that stuff, like, you know. And I mean, yeah, she was so easy to feed, like, you know. Nowadays she's quite fussy, but then, like, you know, she was, you know, fish cakes, that was one of her favourite things, like takeaways, KFCs and all that, and she liked, you know. And I'll tell you a funny story, right. We used to go to the Wimpy in Boscombe, right, you know, which is part of Bournemouth. Right, and I don't know what it was, like, you know, because we used to go down and have a look down the market, like, you know, because I used to talk to the old market traders and stuff like that, you know, because I used to be a market trader, see. Right, and so we sit down, and I knew what was coming, like, you know, and I would say, Shana, what would you like for your lunch, sort of thing, right, you know, and she'd say, ask him, like that, and I say, no, I ain't asking him. What she was asking me to ask him, the waiter, for, was the very, what should we say, not safe for work named meal, which was the Big Bendy Bender meal. And I said, I am not asking this bloke for a Big Bendy Bender. Or, you know, because, you know, I mean, so, yeah, in the end I did, like, you know, and I you know, I'm laughing sort of thing, you know, but, yeah, you know, I mean, that's the sort of thing we used to do, like, you know, and I always remember me and my mum, we strayed in some gay pub once upon a time, like, you know, like, and we didn't realise it was a gay pub. Phil Martin was with me as well, like, you know, and my mum, she must have clicked, because, like, she like said to me, she goes, oh, I'm peckish, like, you know. I said, well, you want packet crisps, well, you know, like, pork scratching, something like that? She goes, nah. She goes, bag of nuts. So there was this, like, Freddie Mercury, like, at the back on the bar, like, you know, and I looked at him and I said to my mum in front of Phil Martin, like, you know, and I said, there is no way I am on this earth walking up to that bloke and asking him for a bag of nuts. Right, you know, and my mum was laughing herself silly, like, you know. I mean, we got absolutely ratted, like, you know. It's unfortunate because, like, somebody mistook Phil, like, for, like, you know, somebody who likes, you know, swing for the left-handed team, like, you know, and like, it came to a bit of an altercation in the toilets, like, you know. But of course, you're in a gay, but I mean, you know, by that time we were so pissed we didn't really know what we were doing, like, you know. I mean, I'm not gay, like, Phil's not gay, like, you know. We had no worries, like, and I mean, there were some nice birds in there, like, you know. Because a lot of girls go into these gay pubs because they get away from the stupid arsehole blokes, like, you know. Anyway, I digressed, like, you know. I was like, Del Boys, like, you know, crosshatch thing, like, you know. Poljot Stadium says good night. We will see what was going to happen with the Sturmanskie, because if it is, you know, even though it's a fake outside and guts and all that, like, if it is, like, you know, a legit innards and all that, it's still worth something. I'm pleased with that, and I mean, I'll pay £12 for it, you know, and I mean, these things sell for 500, easy, you know, so it could be a good one. If not, I don't care. Well, you know, I'm not trying to sell it off to somebody as a fake. I mean, I'm not snide like that. So, you know. So, enjoy your like nice weather, like, you know, and the relaxed lockdown, which means everybody's going stupid and going around like sniffing each other's crutches and stuff, like, you know. I mean, there must be loads of blokes and birds out there absolutely gagging for one, like, you know. I mean, all the slappers down, like, you know, down the local cattle market, like, you know, and all the dirty boys, like, you know, who go and service them sort of thing, like, they must be climbing the bloody walls looking for a shag, like, you know. It's just rather sad. And in these small towns, you get a lot of that, like, you know. I mean, you know, there's some very dirty women in this town, like, you know. I mean, you know, I wouldn't touch some of them with a stolen one, like, you know, or Gary's, like, you know, I mean, I'd throw Gary at them, like, you know, so, oh, Gary, do it, you know, think of England. Right, I will leave that with you. This was a bit of a waffle, but, like, you know, I mean, as I say, Milanese, it's looking good. Bit of this, bit of that, bit weed, ducking and diving, wheeling and dealing, you know. South Londoners are all okay, so does Millwall, and fuck you, West Ham. Sorry, I'll go full for multiplier. West Ham United. Right, see you in the next one.